Sometimes it feels like the whole world is shouting at you to retire by a certain age. Like 55 is that magic number that seems to be getting thrown around a lot these days. And so this morning I was laying in bed after a really busy week at work. I had just woken up and I was checking on the comments of the video that I posted the day before on Friday. And this video showed up in my feed about retiring at 55. And I really don't know why it showed up in my feed because I am so far removed from that chapter. But perhaps because recently I posted some videos that mentioned my age and now the algorithm thinks I'm in full retirement mode. Today I even saw a video about retiring at age 50, that if you haven't retired yet, you're really doing something wrong. And it said that you have to squeeze out all the juice out of your retirement years, that this is the time to have fun. And I thought, oh, how I'd love that. But what if you're still trying to pay rent and buy groceries? What if your reality does not come with beach walks or a glass of wine at 3 p.m.? That kind of advice feels like it's meant for someone else's life, someone with a safety net, with a second income, or perhaps an inheritance. Not someone that is cleaning houses or answering phones or is standing on their feet all day. So I just watched that video that showed up on my feed, you know, the kind couple sitting in front of a beautiful, gorgeous waterfront home, talking about how if you are over 55, you should have already retired. And I'll be honest, it kind of hit a nerve. They didn't really talk about how many people really can't retire because they don't have the money, they don't have the finances. They talked more about how these people have the wrong mindset. They made it sound like the only reason that people keep working is because they are afraid of losing structure, like they're afraid of being bored, of not seeing their coworkers, of not knowing what to do with their time. But let's be real, I don't know a single person who wouldn't love to have the option to retire by 55 or younger if they could. And yes, it's great if people have that option. I'm genuinely happy for them. But there are so many videos out there right now that tell you if you haven't retired by a certain age that you have failed. And that's just not the whole story. And I'm not against retiring early. I love seeing stories of people who have made it happen. I watch the van life videos too, and I love when I see people traveling the world or starting, you know, new chapters on their own. That is very inspiring. But if you're not there yet, it doesn't mean that you're behind or that somehow you have failed. Some of us are just on a different timeline, and that's okay. And I know that I'm not the only one who feels that way because after watching that video, I started reading the comments and so many people were saying the same thing. I love to retire, but I'm still paying off debt. I raised my kids alone. I didn't have the luxury to put 20% away. I got out of a bad divorce and I had to start all over again on my own. I'll be working until I physically can't anymore. There were so many voices in the comment section that said it's not that we don't want to retire, it's because we can't. Not because we are afraid of boredom or lack of structure, it's because of bills, of medical expenses, because life didn't go as planned. Of course, there was also that one comment, someone insinuating that the people who can't retire yet must have made easy choices. The message was basically, if you had made hard choices back then, your life would be easy now. And look, I can understand where that logic comes from, but it assumes that everyone started in the same place, and it ignores real struggle. Some people have been making hard choices their whole life, working multiple jobs, putting others first, going without, and they're still barely keeping up. And that's not failure, that's resilience. I would love to have the luxury about worrying about structure, but you know, right now, me and others, we're just trying to keep the lights on. I work 2 jobs, I'm 54, and I'm still trying to build something of my own because I never had the chance to slow down before. And, you know, that's not a complaint, it's just the way it's been. And I definitely haven't always made the easy choice. I made the ones that I had to, the best I could with what I had. So yes, these early retirement videos, they keep popping up in my feed lately, and maybe it's just the algorithm, but I'm happy for people who had stable careers and company pensions and supportive partners. I know some friends my age who have retired, and it's really beautiful. But let's not pretend that it's everyone's reality. In these videos, they talk about leaving work because they are bored. But for some of us, we still work because we have to, not because we're chasing status or clinging to our identity, but it's because rent is due. Groceries cost more, health insurance isn't free, and savings, there wasn't always enough money left over to build some. They say design your next chapter, but what if you never had the chance to design the first? The truth is that many of us are still hustling, and that is not because out of any fear, but it's out of necessity. And you know what? That doesn't make us a failure. It doesn't make us less wise or less worthy. I raised my daughter as a single mom, and I made hard decisions every step of the way alone. And I tell her now, save what you can, start early, give yourself options, because I know what it's like not to have them. Still, without the luxury of being able to retire at age 55, I'm still here. I haven't given up. Still walking this imperfect path. I may not be where I wanted to be or where I thought I would be, but I'm still creating a life that feels meaningful and that matters to me. That's also why I create the affirmation videos here on my channel. It's not because I have it all figured out, but it's because I need those reminders too. I speak them out loud, sometimes while sitting in a messy kitchen or after a really long day at work. Because affirmations is not really about pretending that everything is perfect. They are about choosing to believe in something better, even on the hard days. So this space holds both the real unfiltered moments and the quiet encouragement just to keep going. Because that's how life really is. It's a little bit of both. So if you're like me, working, tired, but trying, you're not alone. And some of us may never retire, but that doesn't mean that our lives are small or empty. We're still showing up and we're still making a difference, and that really counts for something. And if this spoke to you, I really hope you stick around. This channel is for stories like us, perfectly imperfect, still unfolding, and full of heart. See you next Friday.